Good morning for the live people and welcome whatever time of the day this is. If you're watching this as a video, we're going to get started in just a minute for those that are watching this on the replay. But this is tarot time. We dive into the energies of the week ahead using tarot cards and other divination tools, as well as meditation suggestions, the meditation card of the week. And we tend to have a little bit of a conversation going on here in tarot time also, kind of like our Sunday morning community hangout. So welcome. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to say a few quick hellos to people that are already in, and then a lot to talk about this week. Lots going on. So put the old glasses on. Who's in? Hi, Suzette and Millie and Suzanne and Mr. Floyd's channeling. And hi, Yvonne and Lisa and MT and Suzette and Millie again and Mr. Floyd again. And hi, Carla. Hi, Lisa. I think we're doing some repeats. Hi, Chris. Hi, Laura B. Oh my God, we've been having a very Hi, Michael. We've been having a very lively conversation without me, I see. Right, so let me clear my throat a second. So I'm in opposite land today. I don't know how this happened, but the screen is flipped. It's like what's supposed to, like this is my right hand, not my left. All right. I don't know. Anyhow, they keep changing it up on me, keeping me on my toes, especially on a Sunday morning after a long week of doing a lot of readings and a lot of work. So we're grounding, we're centering. Beautiful day to be alive. It's 3-3. 3 is the number of expansion and growth. It's not easy in the world, but it's a beautiful, amazing time to be alive because we get to witness such extraordinary changes. And we also get to witness a period where thousands of years of corruption, not just what's going on today, but what's been going on for thousands of years, is really starting to surface. It's really starting to change, and as a result, it's a lot's rising to the surface, basically. So, so what do you guys think about? Let's see. Well, there's lots of prayers for people in the Sierra Nevada mountains in that area that's getting up to 12 feet of snow, which I can't even imagine how you deal with that. Somewhere between like 6 and 12 feet of snow in the Sierras, high winds, blizzard conditions. It's bad there. But what I was going to ask is, what do you guys think about what's going on in Texas with one of the largest wildfires ever? Was this something done intentionally, or is this nature or a combination thereof? I'll tell you this, though. I do know that conditions are very ripe for fires in that area. It's been unusually hot, windy, dry, and all that stuff. So the conditions were definitely ripe. I have a feeling whether it's an attack, as it were, it has a different feeling to me than, say, like what happened in Maui or what happened in Canada or even down in South America. So this may have a different origin, but you guys can discuss that amongst yourselves as we're going on. Also, Mr. Fauci's name is being tossed around in the news a little bit more, or maybe not in the mainstream news. But the point being is that things are rising to the surface, as we've been talking about for the last few years, that this would really be starting to happen, really from 2022, even 2021, but really in earnest late 2023, 2024. At least that was the past predictions that we've had, here on the channel that a lot of you remember. But a lot rising to the surface, a lot of corruption, and a lot of these control type mechanisms in our society are being more and more discovered. And again, this doesn't even have to come down to anything conspiracy theories or extraterrestrial or anything super sinister. I mean, it may be, but you just look at history, and human beings that are not evolved have always been greedy, have always tried to have dominion over others, and always have tried to control the flow of money and the flow of power. It's nothing new. It's just the technology is more sophisticated. it said people are more sophisticated, and and there may be a deeper agenda. So anyway, I'm going to check in your comments, and we're going to dive right into some tarot stuff. And let's see, what are we saying? Hi, Karen. Welcome from Ontario. Very good. Much love and favor, anyone. Yes, thank you for that. Lots of prayers to Texas, to California, and somebody's has a little bit of a nice adjective for our current president. Say, oh my gosh, what disrespect for the leader of our country. I'm just teasing. So a lot of people feel like it was direct energy weapons, DW attacks. A lot of people believe that. And I'm open to talking about the different theories or whatever, but until I know something, it's still a theory in my book. But maybe so. Laura's saying feel heartbroken for people. Me too. Maybe not an attack, but definitely don't think it's being held. That's a good point. Also, thanks, Laura. Uh, punishment. That's an interesting theory. Punishment for the border deal in Texas. Could be, could be. Um, and Millie's saying, I think it's intentional and it's in the stars also. Okay. Yeah, I'm I'll put it this way. I acknowledge that possibility. And that's definitely come to my mind. And hello, beautiful star seeds. Thank you. MP saying they burned another chicken farm. So, yeah. And Mr. So a lot of you really feel that it's intentional, and me saying that conditions were ripe or whatever. Well, an intentional fire by anybody, any groups that knows how fire spreads is not going to start fires when conditions are not ripe for it to spread, basically. So that kind of takes that argument right out the window, doesn't it? They said blue was a what are you saying? They said blue was a conspiracy for Maui and mentioned it. That's interesting. Um, the other interesting thing is, I don't know if you guys have any premonitions of who's going to be our next president, but I'm getting some pretty strong vibes that it could wind up being somebody other than Mr. Trump or Biden. So who would be left, basically? President Harris. I'm making light of the situation, but it's going to be an interesting period leading up to these elections and everything. So anyway, greetings, blindly inspired. Thank you. Everything if you're awake and aware. What's empty saying? Everything if you're awake and aware. God globally is painfully obvious. Thank you for that. Yeah. But the thing is, it's not new, and that's the point that I'm making. Back in the late 70s, I was very blessed to have a martial arts teacher that knew a lot about what was going on politically, very politically aware, I want to say. And the only difference between now and then is it's more sophisticated. That he called it the grand plan, which is interesting. And kind of outlined the steps of it. And I think this is still part of a grand plan to seize greater control and greater power over this society. Whether that's orchestrated from beings from other star systems or dimensions, or if it's a purely human thing. I think it's probably both. That's my theory. But in any event, when you are awake, you do see the steps also. But also we need to be in our heart. We have to be in that place of power, that place of compassion, that place of love and gratitude. Because when we're in our heart, then we're not in the programming anymore. And then our brains, via heart brain coherence, our brains become coherent also. Point being is that it's easy to see something going on and to jump to conclusions, and sometimes it's not what we think that it is. So question everything. There's definitely things that are going on that are corrupt. We know that. Stay in the heart, stay in your power, and spirit will give you maybe not all the answers of what's going on, but the answers that we need to know in order to navigate these times, to stay safe and to be powerful teachers and way showers and guides and all that good stuff as we're entering into this new world, into this Aquarian age. So anyway, on that note, how do you guys feel about doing a little bit of tarot stuff, being that it's tarot time and all? So we're gonna look into this week. We've got a full moon coming, or a new moon, excuse me, coming in at is this another one at 20 degrees? I think so. Yeah, this will be the last 20 degrees. This one in oh, I wish I had my ephemeris. All right, I don't have that with me. But yeah, it's the new moons that have been at 20 degrees and the full moons that have been at 5 degrees of their perspective sign. So we just had our 5-degree Virgo full moon. So we're still in that energy, very healing. Good time to do shadow work. Good time to heal, to clear, do cleansings. I'm doing gut cleansing now. I'm on week 3 of doing a lot with, like, drinking bone broth and L-glutamine to heal the gut, basically. Healthy gut, healthy body, healthy mind. So this is a really good time. And then on the what day is it? The 9th or the 10th? I should have my ephemeris with me. It's very early in the morning Saturday, this coming Saturday here on the East Coast, 5 a.m. I believe. And the 20 is the number of the awakener in Chaldean numerology. So this will be the 5th or 6th 20-degree new moon in a row. So it's been a systematic awakening, and will be very deep into the sign of Pisces. That's the subconscious. So that's really super awakening energy that's coming in. So anyhow, good morning, Janice. Thank you. Thanks for coming in. Good morning, Carla. And Carla also is a aficionado of Dr. Joe Dispenza and stay in the heart. Yes, stay in the eye of the storm. Yep. Hi, Brianna. So I see the usual inmates. I mean the usual medium channel community. Just kidding. Is here with us today. Liver seems to be the theme of March. Interesting comment. Liver, so that's good. So L-glutamine is good for the liver also. Yeah, it's good for creating greater integrity in the gut also for people that have leaky gut syndrome. And if you have autoimmune symptoms, there's probably a gut relation. Keep the gut and colon clean. That's really good for health. Keep the doctor away, right? And all the prescription meds that further exacerbate problems in the gut and the colon and the liver, for that matter. You take them when you need them, but try to stay healthy on your own, basically. So Laura's saying 20 is the judgment card in the tarot too. Coincidence? I think not. A lot of the major arcana cards, especially from 10 to 21, were very much in sync with Chaldean numerology interpretation. So it's interesting. The only not glitch, but the only thing that's a little bit different is that in the late 1800s, through scholars like A.E. Waite, for example, they changed key 8 and key 11 in the tarot. So key 11 used to be the strength card in the old tarot, and key 8 used to be the justice card. They flipped it, but the thing is, in Chaldean numerology, the symbol is the lion's muzzle and clenched fist, which looks a lot more like the strength card than it does the justice card. And the meaning is like you're gaining your further control over the lower nature of our own beings, basically. So I'm actually And when I'm done here, I have a 15-second short video I'm gonna film about 11/11 that touches on that. But there is a link, and that's nice that you pointed that out as well. Uh, so so Eileen Spires knows a lot about things like feng shui and stuff like that. And liver's anger issues with 5 elements: be creative to heal, cook, paint, do flower arranging, paint, doodle, just create. Okay, thank you for that. And the myth heralds that still uses the old numbers. Excuse me. I think my okay, I can talk again. There we go. The Mythic Tarot still uses these old numbers for trying to adjust. It's pretty cool. Yeah, pretty cool that you use something that's more original. So this will be our meditation card for the week, for this energy, for this community, and so forth and so on. All right. So I just need to clear my mind a second. So I just got, as I clear my mind, Spirit just planted this thought in my mind. That the expression "run with it" came up, and some of you have some ideas. Some of you are starting new things right about now. Go with it. That's the message. Run with it. And here's the meditation card. I felt like I said everything's opposite on my screen today. I don't know if StreamYard just does that to mess with us, but the idea here is to get relaxed when you, like any other meditation, get very present, very relaxed. Clear mind, open heart, open brain. When your heart and your brain sync in coherence, and we become coherent with spirit, and it's much easier to access our spirit guides and our angels and our higher self as well as divine source. So once you're there, you kind of step into the card and excuse me again, and the first thing is, what do you feel when you step in the card? So it's like energy. We have these amazing nervous systems that are basically an overlay of the meridial systems in and around the body, which are great electromagnetic sensors. So once you're really present and you sort of transcending your physical, when you set your intention to step into the card, you do step into a different energetic field, and there's a different energy that goes through you. So what does that feel like? That's the first thing. What else do you see? What messages do you get? What impressions do you get? Um, as a meaning, to me, this cup to me is a new gift. I want to say. Um, so when you step into this card, as spirit, I'm ready to receive my new spiritual gift, whatever that is, and receive this cup basically. See, if that resonates with you, you can use that as a theme for your meditation. So we recommend doing your meditation with the cards, every day, for a few minutes. This is from the Morgan Greer deck. If you have your own tarot deck, find the 4 of Cups in your deck and step in and have at it, and see what this new gift is. For some of you, maybe clairvoyance or clairaudience or new guides that you're starting to tune into, or you're discovering a different branch of your say extraterrestrial team, or the star beings that work with you, the interdimensional beings, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And then this question, 4 of Cups. Yes, this is the 4 of Cups. So excuse me again. Um, this is actually good that what's happening in my throat, believe it or not. I think after 2 months of having some protracted long COVID cold, I think we're starting to move the energy finally. Oh, thank you for that. Yes, please press the like button. That helps the algorithm share this with more people if if you like what we're doing here anyway. So let's do a 3 card spread. And Angel's saying, "Yay, the new gifts!" And Miley Tar say, "Suzanne, thank you. I'm being inspired by Mr. Floyd and going to on YouTube soon. Oh, good for you. Good for you. And I'm not sure when. It may start in April, but I'm going to start to have guests back on the channel. Yeah, I've taken a little hiatus from that. You may have noticed also I've taken a hiatus from long form videos for a while we're working on getting a new website up. So that's going to start not this Thursday, but a week from Thursday with long form videos again. And good, I'm so happy you guys are starting new channels. I mean, I'm hoping that what I've been doing has helped inspire that. But whatever your source of inspiration, good for you for doing that. And it's kind of like I love this kind of sort of branching out of communities and creating new communities, and we kind of come together in one big group hug community with all your channels and your social media and all the stuff that you guys are doing. So we have Mr. Floyd's channeling that's gotten quite adept at his channeling work over the last few months. And Millie has a channel, right? Millie, of course, I'm saying right. I've seen your channel. And anybody else? Yeah, anybody else that has a YouTube channel that wants to say, hi, I've got a channel, check me out. You know where the comments are. So that said, clearing my mind again and asking Spirit to give me information for the coming week. It's interesting, I don't normally get like very Christianized symbols, but they show me which are Archangel Michael, which isn't really Christian, but they show me Archangel Michael, but then Saint Peter at the kind of the gates to heaven, which is very Christian. I just think it's just Spirit's way of saying, we're having this period of initiation in our world and in our consciousness. And every time we have a spiritual initiation, we leave one rung of energy behind. So we die basically, and then we're reborn into a new level of energy, a new valence or a new frequency. And it's a rebirth. So very good. Very good. And I like this. We are all supporting each other. And what's Mr. Floyd saying? Live channeling on Tuesday, March 5th. Link is in the community page for Zoom. Thank you for that. So that'll be March 5th with Mr. Floyd's channeling channel on Zoom, though, rather than on his YouTube channel. Great. All right. I'm pretty sure I'll be working then, but I have to double check my schedule. So SVM, I'm not sure what that is in text. I'll CVM and posted info on retreat. Yeah, okay. So the retreat is thank you. It's August 2nd to 4th. It's the Spirit Fest 2024, the empowerment immersion with the master teachers. There's going to be a lot of channeling at this retreat. And there's only 12 people that can stay at the facility. It's called the Hunter Mountain House in Lanesville, New York. Now these rooms, there's 6 rooms. 3 have 2 twin beds and 3 are queen beds. Better for couples though. When I used to do mediumship retreats up there, women, men don't do this. We should, but the men tend not to sleep with strangers. But women will do that. So some of the women there, they didn't know who they were sharing a queen bed with. They just share the bed anyway because we become family in these retreats. But there's also off-site lodging available, and it would be $100 off the base price. If you leave a deposit by March 15th, you get $50 off. So there's an early bird special. There will be information when this becomes a video on the pinned comment. There's information on my community page on it, and I'm going to, as we draw closer to March 15th, I'm going to be probably posting on it every other day in all my social media. And we have so far, I think 3 people and 2 others that or 3 others that said they're interested. So we, I'm not going to take any more than 20 total, but 12 people at that. When it's more than 20, it becomes an intimate retreat starts to become compromised by numbers that are too much anyway. So anyhow, so thanks for that, Millie, for mentioning that. as well. So let me just clear my mind a second. So we're gonna do a 3-card spread. Anything more that I want to say about that? Lots with the master teachers. They're going to guide a lot of this, but basically we're going to learn things like how to open up more to spirit, to get messages ourselves, how to channel, how to manifest things in our life as part of the, or maybe one of the most important, if not the most important teachings that we receive as spirits having human experiences is that of energy, and the fact that we have the ability to direct, to move, and to manipulate energy, and the law of attraction is a way to do that. So point being is that in order for manifestation with the law of attraction to work, it requires a lot of spiritual discipline, and a lot. That's why a lot of people it doesn't work for. And I'm not going to explain a lot of that now because it would take too long. But the point being is that you are going to learn how to really manifest your reality. You work with spirit and so forth, and use the tools to really do that in this retreat as well. All right. Anyways. I'm not gonna post that MT, but point understood. um, Felicia, what airport will you fly into the retreat? You can fly into Poughkeepsie, not Poughkeepsie, uh, Newburgh Airport. I forgot the name of it, or Albany International. I forgot the name of the Newport air. Not Newport. New. Oh my goodness. Um, uh, Newburgh. Thank you. Newburgh Airport. uh, is it MacArthur? No, that's in Islip. It's not MacArthur. There's a name for it. I can't think of the name right now. All right, 3-card spread. Stewart. Thank you. Stewart Airport. Yes. Uh, All right. I'm just looking at your comments. Thank you, everybody, for that. All right. So let me clear my mind. So again, these cards will be basically what's going on this week with the energies. For us as a community, maybe there's messages for you individually. What's going on in the big wide world out there? That's interesting. I feel like a lot of energy directed towards our current U.S. president, Mr. Joe Biden. That would be coming under a lot of heat. I want to say maybe health stuff too. So, that's. I'm not going to get too into this, but there could be a reason why I'm feeling that there may be some dark horse candidate that we're not aware of yet that winds up winning. So you got one candidate, indicted for about 1 million different things, whether they're true, false, or whatever. The facts are the facts. Another one that's really aging out of his position. So it's kind of like what are we left with? So anyway, here are the cards that we're left with. So this is number one. No, this is number one. 1, 2, and 3. So everything's opposite here. So the 5 of Cups, this is basically saying it's okay to let things go. In fact, it's necessary to let things go. In any phase, in any time, that's necessary, but especially today. And the thing is, we have to recognize the cups that are still standing. Whenever the 5 of Cups comes up, it's very consistent in all tarot decks. The figure's looking at the fallen cups, not the standing cups. Guess what? Things need to fall in order to rebuild. This whole House of Cards society needs to fall down to rebuild on a steel or iron or cement foundation rather than a foundation of straw. That's what our society is built on, and that straw is made of greed, corruption, power over others, and it's been demonstrated every which way until Sunday that those that are really in control of things, that control the governments, control the corporations, really have shown very little regard for the health and well-being of the common person. So to them, money and power is more important than our health and well-being, as well as justice and democracy. For that example, look at some of the things that France and other countries are doing, Germany and stuff like that. With the protests, with the um, laws that or mandates that some countries and if France is doing it, Canada and the U.S. aren't far behind. Of you're not even being allowed to publicly speak out about our mRNA vaccines, for example, and the possible negative side effects and everything. Meanwhile, the other side of it is that more people are stepping forward. The information's out there. The information about information that was given to those, the WHO and the NSADA. I can't even remember. Anthony Fauci's old organization and all that stuff, showing basically that there was information from the testing that was not publicized. I mean, if you really dug in the fine print, go to like page 800 of the Pfizer pages, you might find a note or two. Well, this happened and this happened, and it might mean that, but it's very cleverly hidden. Basically, the point being is a lot of stuff is coming out. So what you're going to hear, if you haven't heard this already, is a big propaganda agenda or push to remind people that if you had COVID, you're more susceptible to things like heart disease and strokes and stuff like that. That just catching COVID, that's going to be an attempt to dismantle the whole argument that some of these medications, these vaccinations, have those risks associated with them. To me, I don't necessarily have a problem with that as long as people know about it. All medications carry risks. They carry benefits and risks, and I think as an individual, it's our jobs to weigh all the factors in and do the potential benefits outweigh the potential risks. And if your mind it does, then by all means go forward with it. But the information when it's not readily available and when it's covered up, then people are not making informed choices and people are getting hurt. So, I think that's going to be the counter. Like, well, if you had COVID and even a mild case, which is true, you could be susceptible to these things. But where the argument breaks down is that just because you had a vaccine doesn't mean you didn't get COVID. And, people that I know around me that got their vaccines, I didn't, have had pretty much the same number of cases, the same severity, some even worse than me. So anyways, point being is that beans are being spilled. Now I like the Wheel of Fortune. The wheel is turning, right? And again, a lot of this feels like people may need to give something up. They may need to let things go. One of the things to let go is just that whole like scarcity mindset that's being leveled on us with the inflation and all this other stuff. That basically, when prices go up, it affects the middle and lower classes, but the ones that have everything, it doesn't affect them because they have more than enough money to pay for the higher prices. So again, it's kind of like a subtle subversive way to gain further leverage and control over the masses. Basically, it's like, oh my God, I have no money. What am I going to do? Well, the government's going to save you. Don't worry, we'll save you. Basically, just do this and fall into line here, and just do this, and you're going to be okay. Basically, so but this it also makes me feel things are waking up. And by the way, in tarot, those that were talking about the liver, this is Jupiter energy, Jupiterian, and the liver is Jupiterian, I believe, anyways. And some systems it may be different, but that's interesting. Again, I feel like really good time for a lot of us here to do detoxes. Lots of water, cleansing diet, intermittent fasting, or do a juice fast or full on fast, clean the gut. It just feels like it's the time. I just feel like Spirit saying those of us that are awakening or awakened, that are in this kind of role that I'm in this process of being, a leader and a way shower, we need to be clear, and a clear body is going to help to create a clear mind. So clear the body, lots of water, lots of stuff like that, changing of diet. Again, we're needing to let things go. This is the time to really work on what's unhealthy and to let that go. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Suzette. Thank you for the super sticker. We love you. And all donations go to supporting the channel. Thank you so much. And what am I gonna say? Yeah, so cleansing. So that's the physical, but then we need to cleanse our energetic fields also, cleanse our minds, and heart brain coherence, what we talk about all the time, is a way to do this. You sit and magnify, well, you get very present first and sit and magnify gratitude, appreciation, compassion. And if you're able to do that and be still, then the brain and the heart begin to sync. So a lot of our programming, severs the heart brain connection, which makes us much more easy to control by society. So again, they don't want us to have this information. And it's not just heart brain coherence, that's a modern practice based on ancient teachings. So the masters were telling this all along for thousands of years. When you're really in sitting in compassion and gratitude, then you develop a clarity of mind. And when the heart and the mind realign, because the heart and the mind are actually very connected naturally, that's when we align more with spirit. So that's the divine triad: heart, brain, spirit, or heart, mind, spirit, basically. So heart brain coherence, we're going to talk about that. I'll probably do a 2-hour class on that before long. There's going to be a whole hour long online course for purchase. We're having a website coming out. We're going to have a free full length course on the 3 basic foundation to spirituality. So I'm really excited about that as well. So what else is this saying? So the 8 of Pentacles, 8s are good for money. Pentacles are about money. Don't get burnt out. As I'm looking at this card, I'm seeing some of us being kind of burnt out or wanting to give up. Make sure we take our breaks, me included. So that's one of the reasons that instead of next Thursday, I put the re-beginnings of the Thursday uploads off a week, just because I just need some time for me, basically. So I think sometimes we need to step back a little bit, because I tend to be go 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 in my mind and mentality. Turn the pings off. And what else? So a lot of this is about money. So keep an eye on the economy, changes in the economy. I keep seeing oil. So, we may get some spikes up or down with oil futures or stuff like that. Feeling like this may not be this week, but towards the end of March, there may be some changes in global currency that are proposed. And I think we're going to see a lot of things proposed that are really kind of damaging for the individual and really supporting the agenda. So we often talk about how the energy's already shifted, and if you look at it as light versus dark, that the light's already won, but that doesn't mean it's gonna that the dark side or the negative or control aspects, if you like that better, power over others at the cost of our own health, freedom, and well-being, basically, that's still going to take some time. It takes time for the physical world to change. There's a lot of density in this physical world. And then in a society, there's other than the corruption, there's the governments, there's the hierarchies. So just because we've shifted more into the light and the awakening's happening does not mean that that it's all over. That there's still a lot to do. It's probably going to carry into the 2030s. When I do start my Thursday uploads again, the first one is going to be messages from the master teachers and psychic prediction about the next 5 years. So it's going to be the next Thursday upload that we're going to do. So what else? Sometimes the Wheel of Fortune is about money. Some of us may be getting some upgrades, so that's good. Like a raise or a new job or more money coming in from your business or stuff like that. I just feel like with this card, they're just saying stay grounded, stay centered, and lots of ups and downs that way. And something, again, needing to be surrendered or let go. So, I feel like, especially early in the week, you may find people just out there being, a little bit sad and remorseful about things. So there may be some news or things that go on that are troubling. I mean, take your pick, I guess. Um, but toward the middle of the week, things the vibe tends to be a little bit more upbeat. I want to say, generally speaking. And then, toward the end of the week, again, it kind of sort of goes back into that as we lead into the new moon energy. So again, I think the thing is release, let go, stay in your heart, stay grounded, stay in your power. And I think that's basically the message there. Carl, I'm finding myself sometimes when I'm a little bit off, going into that anger, frustration mode myself. And you've had COVID. COVID will do that. I found that COVID was very much a mind virus, and the first time I got it, first thing I knew I had COVID. I knew it was something not natural, whether it's created by changes in like global, like what's the right word? Like the global climate, less likely, way less likely, or whether it's made in a lab, way more likely. When it was in my body, it was like, this is not natural, this is not real. It attacked every organ. I could feel it in my brain, my heart, my liver. I could feel everywhere in my body. It was the weirdest feeling. I mean, I got sick, but not super sick from it. And then for weeks I was just negative, and I just realized this is a mind virus. This is making me just bring out the worst parts of myself, basically. And then I had it again. It turned into long COVID. Then I had it again, although the last one was a COVID cold. So I knew better because I had cold symptoms, but all the discharges were completely different than anything I had, and it wouldn't go away. And I still have hives from it. So I'm still having hives all over my body and everything. So and the spirit's saying, you know what it does? It's sort of programmed to really attack the vulnerable parts. And I had eczema for almost 60 years of my life, so I think it's really like trying to hit my skin, basically. So again, I'm not trying to be fear-based or paranoid or anything. I don't know what the truth is, but I consider the possibility that this is a programmed disease that for whatever reason, whatever the end game is, and it's usually control over the people, control over the masses, control over the money, and all that stuff. And when people are sick and they're scared, they're very easy to control, and then guilty and shameful and all that stuff, very easy to control. Yeah, thank you, Suzette. I mean, I feel fine, but my skin's uncomfortable. It's not like when I had eczema, though. That I don't. Looking back at those days, it's like I don't even know. It just shows how strong the human will is. I don't even know how I didn't take my own life. It was really that bad and uncomfortable for years after year after year. Um, so anyhow, let me look at the Native American cards here. Some empty things sounds more like 5G frequencies. Well, I'm the good news is that I don't get a cell signal where I live, so I'm not as exposed to 5G as a lot of people. But when I go into my office, then I am. I mean, 5G Wi-Fi signals. I think they have a new 5G, or they're coming out with a new 5G or 6G. I'm shake that ish off. Yes, yes. Here, unique and interesting channel here. Always, yes. Always unique and different. Yes. That's very interesting. Keep your body, mind strong. This is MT. Mind's don't fool when the shit hits the fan. Yep. And Bill said, I have a video in my watch later file about it being a mind virus. There, so I'm not the only one that feels that. Um, and somebody's talking about the chemtrails. Okay. Yeah, all these things. That's why we have to stay healthy. We have to take care of these bodies because there's so much attacks against that, against us, and saying it's in the air. The chemtrails have even. It's interesting because there's some admission of chemtrails through the geoengineering project. So there's some admission of that. People just have to be a little bit careful because I see a lot on social media, people posting pics of common contrails and calling them chemtrails. So I've seen them both. Chemtrails are usually lower, they're usually grayer, they usually look meaner. And yes, contrails can stay in the sky for up to 20 minutes or even longer if atmospheric conditions are right. I saw them in the 60s. I mean, granted, they were probably chemtrailing even back in the 60s. And of course, there's always the possibility that concealed within jet fuel, that the jets themselves could be also spreading the whatever it is. So, until we know, all possibilities should be considered. But at the same time, we need to be open and not jump into fear-based thinking, because that's what they want. And I have to tell you guys that some of those conspiracy theories out there are started by those that want to control things, because they want everybody to be like chickens without their heads, running around in fear and panic. Like, the government's doing this, the government's doing that. Oh my God, Project Bluebeam. Oh my God, this, that, or the other thing. And some of it's real, but I feel like some of it is just started just to kind of get people to, you know what it is. And as I'm talking, they're kind of putting this in. It's like they want us to chase one rabbit hole so that they can orchestrate the real conspiracies right in front of our noses. So it's like sleight of hand. It's like a good magician is drawing your attention to this hand and doing the magic with the other hand that we're not seeing. So stay in your heart. The more in your heart you are, hearts cannot be controlled. When you're in compassion and gratitude, when you're in the master frequency of the heart, you can't be controlled. Whether it's Wi-Fi signals, nothing can, because you're in a higher power, you're in a higher frequency, you're immune to that. So stay in your heart, stay in your power, and be aware of your reactions to things, because when we react to things and we come out of the heart, then we become vulnerable to the program again. So they want us to be running around like freaking chickens without heads, so that they can control us, basically. So I believe in conspiracy theories because enough of them have become conspiracy facts. And I feel like some of the ones that haven't been proven are true and others aren't. But don't jump to conclusions. Stay in your heart, stay in your center. Feel your heart energy actually expanding through your body and your aura, making your entire auric egg, your auric field, a big heart chakra. And do this every day, maybe 2 or 3 times a day with long, deep breathing. That's going to help grant you some immunity to the programming that's going on out there. Look over there. I'm thinking of Joe Jackson now. Look over there. Where? There's the genie with her new boyfriend. I forgot the lyrics of that song, but anyway, and it's all distractions. Yes, the 3-card Monty. I like that. And he comes. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Contrails will stay in the sky if atmospheric conditions are right for 20 minutes or longer. That's a myth. That contrails will dissipate immediately. That's an absolute myth. And I've been in an airplane and watched the contrail from other planes, seeing it coming out of a jet and seeing that trail going and not dissipating. And I used to see that in the 60s. I remember asking my mom, why are the planes doing that, basically? Now, the gray area to that is that, are these jets also emitting chemicals that would create chemtrails? That I don't have the answer, but and a good example, somebody posted like these circular chemtrails, and basically, and they were low, and they looked ominous. And I asked her, where was this? Was this anywhere near Newark Airport? And she was like, yes. It's like, what you're seeing is basically a holding pattern over Newark Airport, and atmospheric conditions were unusual enough that they formed in a lower level than they usually do. Most chemtrails are lower than the contrails. So that's another way. They're usually under the cirrus clouds rather than at the cirrus level. And by the way, I studied meteorology in college. I studied all this stuff at great depth, so I do know what I'm talking about. Like I said, but the gray areas, we don't know what those jets are spewing out. We just don't know that. So again, again, I have to be clear about that whole thing that contrails dissipate immediately is a myth. If atmospheric conditions are right, they'll stay in the sky and they'll do their thing for up to 20 minutes, occasionally longer. Now, one time I actually saw actual chemtrails working around my house. It was Christmas morning, and I was sitting outside, and they did their thing. They were lower, they were gray. They made the crisscross pattern. Again, if you see those crisscross patterns, that's another sign. But if you see just lines in the sky that seem to repeat, well, the air traffic controllers have flight patterns that all the jets follow. So you could see those, if there's one flight pattern from Europe and another from like Florida, you may see those crisscrosses also. Be discerning, basically. And the reason I'm saying that is because chemtrails are a real thing. I have no doubt about that. It's partially admitted. But if we're calling contrails chemtrails, then we're made to look like we don't know what the heck we're talking about, and it diminishes the whole argument. That's why I'm harping on this so much, just to let you guys know, not disagreeing, and I'm grateful for your comments and your insights and everything. And certainly that's what the community's about. We all have part of the puzzle, right? But nobody has the complete puzzle, right? Mm. So anyways, yes. So anyway, so I was sitting out Christmas morning. They were forming, and basically it just made a whole gray cloud in the sky. It just turned a sunny sky into a cloudy sky, and it was just from these. And I think that they when they do real chemtrailing, they have a certain area in mind, and they chemtrail the crap out of it, basically. And of course, those gases affect us here on Earth, of course. So what's the end game of that? And you saying as in the Navy and we're wow, so you know a thing or two also, MT. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, very good. Um, that's awesome. And and MDR saying, and identify we're air traffic controller managers in Oregon, I believe, Air Force. Very good. Yeah. And then went through New York State Correction, also saw Sheriff's Department here. Wow. Very good. So thanks for sharing. Yeah. And we all learn new things, right? From our shares. So very good. So getting back to the topic in hand. So what do we have here from the counting coup, the 7 of swords? I believe that amounts to, I think they're saying gear up for battle, and being more in your heart, being in your power, not going into fear is how to gear up to battle. That's the warrior's way. And so I think it's just kind of saying that we're going to be seeing a lot. But I think also for us as a message for us in our community and us individually, you may be at odds with a few people in your life. So it's been sort of a process. It's sort of ongoing, but a lot of people that were friends, we start to pull away from, even family members, and that's part of initiation sometimes also. And sometimes we just need to like not be around people that are negative, or that are bringing us down, or that are or being negative towards us, basically. Yeah, when we have our own views or whatever, and stuff like that. So I think that's part of it. So far, yeah. New sacred. Anyone's here with the garden work with copper spirals to disintegrate clouds. That's interesting. I'm not familiar about. And MT saying I did all that by age 30, but now that's great. Yeah. I started researching this stuff by 1980. So yeah, I hear you. Yeah. Um. So anyway, so that's counting coup. We've gotten this card before. This is the Native American tarot, by the way, if I didn't mention that. I'm just seeing if there's any other symbolism. I think that's basically it, and how that melds with this. Um, 7, 8, 5, 7, and 10. All right. Just seeing if there's anything else. I think couples are going to get some unexpected good news, especially around money. I hope that's me. And I think the idea here is keep doing your law of attraction in a way that you're grateful for whatever it is that you desire, as if it's already happened, and really be in that energy of receiving, of gratitude, appreciation, and so forth. So I have other tools. I think this is the Oracle of Isis deck that I have here. So we're going to use that this week again. Oh, that's me, yeah. I'm just, giggling at your comments. You guys are being funny now. We'll take that. Grateful for abundance. Me too, yes. An abundance of heart, abundance of being, abundance of intention. And I know, financial abundance is just, it's here also, even if I'm not physically aware of it quite yet. But I feel abundant. I feel grateful. So that's the main thing. And I am. So anyway, let me just see what messages from Isis. Let me try to hear my mind. They show me a hammer. So, there may be something about, this is a good week to maybe fix things. When we're in the dark moon phase, like towards the end of the waning moon phase, this is the time to kind of seal things that have happened the last month, fix things that need to be fixed, clear, cleanse, clear our bodies, clear our minds, clear our energy fields. And Lady of the Stars, this is the card that I pulled here. And this is Priestess of Sirius. And this is the time of year, February, March, is when I get to really get a great view of Sirius from my house. It hangs pretty low in the southern sky from my latitude. And this time of year, it's visible. When I get later in the spring, it starts to like after it starts to go too far to the west, and the mountains start to block it. So this is the time of year, and I meditated on Sears. I swear, I see Morse code in my mind. I see different colors, and that's the biggest star. You can find Sears. Find Orion's belt. Go down Orion's belt and slightly below, maybe about 7 lengths or so. It'll be the brightest thing in the sky. The only thing in the sky that's brighter than Sirius now is Jupiter, and that's going to be way off to the west from Sirius. So that's the only object in the sky that's brighter than the star Sirius right now. So the Lady of the Stars, I just wanted to just read, maybe just, get the flavor from the first line. And I'm not really that familiar with these cards yet. This is a gift from Mr. Floyd's channeling channel, by the way. So thank you for that. And he does I think every other day he does an Isis reading on his channel. The Lady of the Stars, Sirius is a celestial goddess, a star of unconditional love and wisdom at an extremely high vibration. It brings soul awakening, spiritual gifts, and a high capacity for divine service. Lady of the Stars is also an empowerment of all other oracles in this deck. She tells you to pay attention because something significant is taking place right now. That seems to be the underlying theme. Thank you so much, Mafe. Oh my God. Talk about abundance. 999 too. Thank you so much. I love this card too. Let me hold this up. I mean, this is definitely a warrior. Definitely a warrior energy. We've been like on 33 on the chat forever. That's a master number 2 of expansion and growth. And I think this links in very, very well. I think that's the theme. We're being prepared for next level of awakening. And it's been step by step, but this is the big one, 2024, maybe into 2025. Yeah. But 2024, I feel like between now and August is going to be a big month. April's going to be huge. And I got probably the last reservation available in Western New York to see the eclipse, also on April the 8th in Olean, New York. So everywhere else is over $300, but there's like 2 rooms like around Olean for 100 plus. I was like, I'm gonna do this and get up real early and then drive west, because Olean itself is 99.99%, but it's not. It doesn't go into totality. So it's like from there you'll still see a very faint sliver of the sun. You won't see the corona and all that. But so anyway. But April's going to be a huge month, and then August. So I think March, the rest of March, because it's an 11 month too in numerology. So 11 is again the lion's muscles with clenched fists, and we talked about that, which is on the channel, the March forecast and channel messages for March. You can check that out after this video if you want. But 11 is lion's muzzle and clenched fists. It's overcoming the lower nature. Good time to end addictions and bad habits and negative cycles. Easier said than done, because we work against our own primitive survival instincts when we try to change our habits, because that's how the subconscious mind works. To the subconscious, familiarity is life, change is death, basically. So that's why so many people don't like change, and that's why it's so hard to change, because we work against that primitive survival instinct. No, to counter it, go into the heart, do your heart brain coherence, be in that vibration of spirit. That's how you counter it, basically. So release. And I love moon water. I have to flash Felicia's comment. I made moon water to help my horses begin to load on my trail. It worked. Also, step to moving to California. Wow, nice. All right. Wow, we are going way over today. It's already an hour on. So here's our frequency of the week. What else? So the retreat. Also it's Healers and Healing Month on Spirit Mind Family, which is our Patreon group that you guys can join, and we do our community hangouts, one on Zoom once a month, one through YouTube. Then we have exclusive videos that I don't share anywhere else, and meditations and more advanced channeling with the master teachers. A lot of people come regularly, so you get regular spiritual upgrades. Only $5 a month. I'll pin that on the pinned comments also. As I'm talking, oh my God, they really want us to go on a tantric journey. This comes up every other month. And Spirit just guided me right to that card. It wasn't even any hesitation. That's the card. That's divine intimacy, right? Union with spirit, the great right, all that kind of stuff. And the message here, the frequency of divine journey helps us to unlock the hidden knowledge and wisdom that we intrinsically hold about how to reach a state of wholeness and completion through our sensual experiences with ourselves and with another. We have to really learn the lesson of the body to transcend the body. So denying the body to me is the wrong approach. At least for me it is. It may be different from you. I'd rather want to know the physical life, know the body, know sensuality, know all of this stuff. And that's how we transcend it. We're in physical bodies for a reason. So sexual energy, it's prana and chi. It's just at a certain frequency. And through tantric and other practices, we can learn to shift the frequency and bring it up to a higher vibration and to nourish the higher chakras also. So that's basically that as well. Master the body. Blindly inspired. Put it in a nutshell. Master the body. Do some yoga. Do some breathing. It doesn't have to be sexual or sensual, but master the body basically. And again, time to clear and to detox also. We have Kyle Gray contribution with his what's the name of this? Divine Masters Oracle. I just think we keep getting this tantric card. I mix them up and everything. And Spirit just went right to that card. It was like, I think 3 out of the last 5 weeks we got that card. So that's been the frequency for a while. Again, working with the body. I could see that being a very healing process also. There was a time, and getting back to sexuality, in a better age, that prostitution was an honored profession, and it was a form of healing, through sexual energy, basically. So maybe it's part of this is about changing our views on that also. Like sometimes Mary Magdalene pops in ever since she came through in the channel on July 22nd. I feel like she's like, yes, yes, yes. So the card that we got here is Hanuman, which is the devoted warrior. Let God's love hold you in strength. And this is lion. So this is like from the Lyran from from Vega, the Lyran star system, where we get theoretically anyway, and in my belief also, where we get like the goddess Sekhmet, the lion goddess, or Bastet, they were the lion people, or a race of extraterrestrial beings that had lion-like faces or cat-like faces, but more humanoid bodies, basically. So this is like, lion is about pride, right? It's about strength, about inner strength. Again, it's about overcoming the lower, and sometimes by clearing patterns, addictions, introducing new ones. That 11 energy, the lion's muzzle and clenched fist, gaining control over the beast, basically. Like we have a shadow side, we have a dark side to our nature, we have a light side. We can't exist in this reality without the dark side, but we need to, as light, and the spirit, be able to govern those forces rather than be controlled by them. So that's really the distinction. I feel like this energy to remind us that we have help in not being controlled by our lower natures, but rather being able to govern it so that it can become a great strength in our warriorship and our spiritual growth and development, and our ability to transcend all the darkness of the world and to become, spiritual warriors and way showers and light workers and all that good stuff. And and I have the medicine cards. So that's coming up next. There you go, right to the bottom. So I'm going to do that. Right in the bottom is the turkey, the giveaway eagle, the turkey. So this is about you're being able to surrender, to give, to be able to share. And yes, let's turkeys give of their life in order to be, for us in the Western world and in America specifically, to partake in our ritual of giving thanks. It's about, gratitude and honoring. And maybe there's something that we need to give to somebody else. When we give from our heart, we open up a portal to receive more from spirit, from the great heart, basically. And my famous example is that I did a shamanic ceremony years ago with a very powerful shaman from Machu Picchu, and it involved Wachuma. So there's some plant medicines involved, but at the end of the weekend retreat, I had this amazing smoky quartz crystal that had angels in it. Fan, it is my very, very favorite piece. And after I went up to the shaman and I said, "Your spirit's telling me this is yours. I want to give this to you." And he looked at me and said, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Yes, yes." He looked at me, he looked at it for a second, and he said, "Would you mind if I use this crystal to access your energy to continue the healing, from this weekend?" I'm like, yeah, yeah, I would definitely not mind that at all. Thank you very much. So that's an example, that's my example. So anyway, moving right along, right along. And last but not least, we have our angel message from Doreen Virtue's deck in her past incarnation, in the same body, different incarnation, when she came up with this channeled information for these cards that so many people still use, including myself, obviously. And this one's Azor. Your desired outcome will occur in the very near future. Have patience and faith. Don't try to force it to happen. You may get a different message from the image here, My feeling is, again, release, let go. Things that need to die, let them die. Don't hold on. Better things are coming. Our desired outcomes sometimes come through just being able to release the old and be willing to be uncomfortable with what we don't know or don't understand, basically, and to be able to accept the blessings of Great Spirit and Source. And that's what I have for you guys. So thanks again. I'll post a little bit more retreat information as well as how to join Spirit Mind Family on the comments. We have a new moon coming up, which means we're going to have a new moon forecast soon. We're going to have, I believe, Saturday evening at 8 with Heather Istara. We're going to do some healing and transmission work for this Piscean new moon. It's going to be very powerful because it's going to really activate the subconscious, and it's going to allow us for some really, really amazing deep healing because it's at 5 degrees, which is Mercury ruled numerology. All right. Azure blue, healing and release. Yeah, and that did have that quality. Absolutely. Thank you for that. And empty. I only do Instagram. Okay. Remember to like this live. Thank you. Remember to like this live. Remember to like this live. Yes. Azure. Wow. Yes. He's saying, so we're talking about social media. Yeah, I actually I do Facebook, but again, it's more for community stuff. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it. All right, grateful for everybody. Thanks again. So see you Tuesday at 7. Tuesday at 7 at Mr. Floyd Channeling's channel. So he'll have information on that. And you're welcome, everybody. Take care. Good night.